Everyone,
dude.
welcome to Ult Advantage. Danteh's already scared for his life, dude. All right, welcome to the third episode of Ultimate Advantage. This is the third week, or I guess it's technically 6th week because we're bi-weekly. Maybe we'll change in the future. We'll see. Unfortunately, as you noticed, the guy in the top right from Sweden is replaced by a little bit of a shorter individual from California. Now actually officially announced on San Francisco's Overwatch League team. We got Super here on the podcast. Welcome, Super. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. Thanks for having me, Dogman.
Yeah, anytime. And the next guy we got, you're French Canadian, right? Super or xQc.
Hell yeah!
All right, we got the French Canadian from I don't know where he's going. We'll see. We'll see in the future. Can't leak any of that just yet. Maybe we'll see in the future. But we got him. You doing good, man?
I'm doing fine. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. And the last guy, we got the Minecraft PvP Pro. Back in the bottom right.
UHC, the Minecraft UFC.
monkaS.
All right, guys. Well, I mean, I'm sure most of you have seen Ult Advantage. I think all of you have at this point. And on this show, we kind of just go around, shoot the shit or whatever. But last time, I do need to throw out that last time we kind of were lazy on the sellout section. So I just want to do a quick sellout for our YouTube section or Twitter. And then we'll move on past that. So if you want to follow up to date and keep up to date with Ult Advantage, we've done 2 other podcasts with multiple other guests such as Sure4, Kai, and Verbo from Immortals. And we can follow that on @Ult Advantage on Twitter. But guys, let's hop into the first topic here today. I know that Super doesn't really have much involvement in this, but xQc and Danteh does. I want to go back to, I don't know how many months ago this was that Arc 6 was out. That was only a couple months ago. I want to know the origin story of Arc 6, specifically with the Danteh era of Arc 6. I want to talk about that section first.
The Danteh era when he came on, before he was on, or
when he was on, and when you guys like started getting somewhat success, like in what was the tournament that you guys beat Selfless? That was a monthly, right?
Yeah, but there was one, like, I think before that where we got like third. I think that was our best. That was like our biggest like breakthrough where we did something good for once, and it felt really good because we only had like bad stuff before, where we thought like the brackets were bad, and we thought like we had we kept getting the short end of the stick, but then we finally got a breakthrough, and that was when we I think we played with Soundcloud at that point, and then we realized something overnight that obviously a problem got fixed. There was a problem, and we fixed it, and it was nice.
Yeah,
That's a little toxic.
I mean, it's like I always say, it's like a car. You put a better piece in, and car runs faster, man.
So let's I guess we'll go back since you mentioned the problem. I guess I want to go to when you guys were denial. I guess like what was that? Do you know what that like what was holding you guys back from playing at the professional level? Like, oh, I'm getting a call. All right, that's professional.
Well, it sounds really like I'm targeting too much. Obviously, nobody was perfect, but I think my style was more aggressive. And when Ana came meta, Ana would get ults very fast, right? And Dahan was on Ana, and his aim isn't the best, and we all know that. But he's a good player. Anyway, that's not like toxic. And with Jolson's playstyle, he always wanted to play aggressive, and he always used the phrase "tank me," which is keep me alive and ult me, like make me a tank basically. And it's not a bad thing, right? But it required Dahan to switch from healing me to healing him all the time, so he had to switch targets, right? And then instead of just looking forward and healing me, he had to do. It was mechanically demanding, and his efficiency on Ana was severely hindered at that point. And that was like a huge deal. It was terrible. And once we switched things up, you could immediately feel the difference, and it was really good. I think that was our biggest problem, the fact that I couldn't be really enabled. And in triple tank and quad tank, where Super was enabled and I wasn't, it feels really bad. It was disastrous. And once it started coming in, then got better and better and better and better, and now we could focus on the real issues at that point because we fixed the big problem that was preventing us from even getting there. So yeah,
because you guys before then used to run a lot of Fair Mercy, and that was kind of like that was what you guys were good at for a while. And then eventually, because of, I guess, that situation, as you pointed out, then you guys started to get a lot of more versatile, I guess, right?
Yeah, but that was just like a band-aid, basically, like the Fair Mercy. We could ignore the problems at hand and just play that because it was easy to default to, and we could just skip over the problems. But the problems were always there, and we always had to fix them. And of course we defaulted back to Fair Mercy, but we needed outside help a lot, and we couldn't ever get it. Outside help, not as like being carried by someone or whatever, but just having input on what are the problems. We don't even know what are the problems before even fixing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we needed.
So I guess we want to move on to the next point, which was how did Danteh change up anything within the team? I mean, you've kind of touched on it, but specifically, I want to know what Danteh did. Danteh alter Arc 6 as a team? Did he do something different?
He hinted. No, I think that's a long story. I don't know. It may be like Risen Sleeper. It might take a while. I mean, is the podcast long? Do I have enough time for like?
Yeah, we got a while. This will be our longest podcast probably.
Okay, well, that story was on the other podcast, but that was much smaller. There was not a lot of people that heard about that, so let's just start from the beginning. So basically, overnight, I was like, okay, listen, Endless was our old player. It's not working. Like, it's just, we need a replacement as soon as possible. We need it right now. And then we started brainstorming about who we're going to bring on. And in my head, I had Space that I saw in soloQ once or twice, and I was impressed at some things he did very well, and some movement and mechanics that I really liked. And I had Kayun, and then Danteh, because he was on a ladder and whatever, but I never heard him talk. So basically, Space, I wanted him on, but my team didn't translate the information to him, so nothing went with that. Kayun said that he had opportunities, and he was going for a team, which is EG at the time. I think they were going to pick him up, and he didn't want to leak it, but he had to, he had something, obviously. And then came Danteh, and I was like, okay, well, I want a VOD. I want to see something. And they asked him, and he sent a VOD. And it was like 4 a.m., and I sat there with pizza, and we started watching the VOD. And then we watched this washed-up team, these brainless monkeys just running around, and just Danteh in the middle, just... And I start hearing like some... Dude, what is this? I turned the volume up. It's Danteh trying to come with his teammates. Like, oh, God. I mean... The thing is, he has good comms when you can hear him, but before, like, I mean, the intention is there, right? Like, he's actually trying to come, and that's really good. And his mechanics were good, but his team was so trash, it was hard to evaluate him or whatever. But then I saw his ult charge. He kept getting grabs really fast. And with Endless, we could barely get 1 grabs in a Koth round. Sometimes we'd get 0 in a Koth round. And then I'd say, you know what, dude, bring him on. Let's make it like a tryout type of scrim. And I don't know why we did things like that, but I think we kicked Endless before even getting someone. So we didn't even know if we were getting a new player, and we kicked Endless. And we got Danteh in, and Danteh got a grab at, like, dude, first fight or something. And then Ming Pizza, in every scrim, we always talk in PMs, because that's what we do, but we don't trash talk anyone, or we don't do that. Like, we just talk about just stuff that we feel, stuff we think. That's why I like playing with Pizza so much, because I can be open about it, and we have, like, really good conversations. And then Danteh gets grabbed at the first fight. No, I think he played Genji. He plays Genji, and the first map is Lijiang Control Center, and he gets ult on the first fight. I just PM him. Yeah, we get him. And then he sends at the same time, he sends me the exact same, like, this is the guy we need. And then we play Garden. He gets grabbed first round. Okay, it doesn't matter if Endless, like, the lack of comms we're going to get, the whatever. It doesn't matter. Fuck all of it. Danteh's in. And then we just got him in, and that was it. Danteh was in one Koth round.
Yeah, I mean, in Danteh, well, I mean, initially, at least from the outside looking in, he seemed like a really good player. But when I talked to Danteh specifically, it did take Danteh. I'm going to direct this question at you. This is kind of like an off the hinge question.
Yeah, sorry.
But I was wondering, how long did it take you to learn Tracer? Like when you made the switch to Tracer from like a Genji role, like I know you said initially like your movement took some time to learn, and I know that's like a lot of, at least right now for a lot of the pro Tracers, not even they have understood like movement to a high level, like to your level or like Sinatra's level or whatever.
I don't know. I started playing Tracer for our team in like May. I think I learned pretty fast because I think I'm pretty good at Tracer now. Like a few months later, it's like 5 months later. Yeah. But yeah, I think I've definitely learned really fast.
Is there any tips or anything? Oh, what's up, xQc?
I mean, I don't want to answer for him at all, but I think playtime. He got a lot of playtime, and when people didn't play, people complain about the game. He would just play the game. That's the most valuable thing in the world, I think. No matter what you do, if you don't play the game that much, then you just won't get there.
Yeah, I graduated high school, and then I just started like streaming and playing comp every single day, and then scrimming on top of it. And yeah, I just got a lot better at Tracer pretty fast. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask our actually since Super hasn't really been involved in this, I wanna actually move on to the next section, which actually I don't know how many teams know about bird noises in particular, but I did want to bring that up because I know all of us here know bird noises, or LG Evil, Luminosity Evil, the second team to LG Loyal at the time, which was created. But I want to know what your guys' history is. Like, how did U5, I guess, right? Super, isn't it U5 played in TF2 together? Could you explain that?
So, well, I knew Vol and Train for like 4 years at this point, and like I knew them from TF2. We like pugged and just played with each other. And then when Overwatch came out, we thought that we wanted to make a team. So we were like, okay, who could we get? And so first it was us three, Vol, Train, and myself. And I knew Rob at the time I played on a team with him in TF2, and I know he played support for some team that died. But so I asked him if he wanted to play. He's like, yeah. So then we also found Jake through Indust, who was another TF2 player who Train and Vol knew. So then we had Jake with us. Then we had 5, and then we had a really long time trying out different supports because we didn't have a 6th. And then we settled on Verbo, but then he got poached by Immortals. So then we had more time. We died a little bit, kind of, for like a week. But then we found Avast, and Avast was who we wanted.
Okay. And I guess I'll move on to the next, because I know that at least Bird Noises or LG Evil or Hammers or whatever you guys went by in the past was like a Titan for a little bit there. Do we xQc and Danteh, like how, like when you guys played against them at least, like how did you match up, at least Arc 6 wise? How did you match up to LG Evil when you guys were both in your primes?
Pretty sure we were kind of bad back then, so they would win most of those scrims. Like, that's kind of how it was.
I think they did pretty well. No, seriously. I like to think in matches we're actually pretty competitive, except when things started when the meta starts shifting towards a more solid triple tank, more solid like 4 tanks. It was more clear what the meta was. Then they started popping off. They would just enable super would pop off, and then I would just hear tank me in the back, and okay, whatever. Yeah, I didn't get as much resources as he had, but yeah, I think they were the better team. I'd like to think so, yeah.
So actually, I want to ask you this: who's your dream? I guess who's your dream off tank? I want to ask you that question. I know this is an off the hinge question, but who's your dream player to give you support that you need?
I mean, from personal experience, obviously it's a mega bias because my opinion here is going to be, kind of weird. But from another team, I'd say Sinatraa, because I like to set the pace of the game, and Sinatraa plays pretty much the same way as me. He likes to set the pace with me, and we play together in front, and we have the same mentality basically.
Wait, I thought we were talking about off tank.
Yeah, exactly. When he plays off tank, if he plays off tank, I'd say Zarya. If I wanted the Zarya, I'd play with it. But off tank in general, I'd say Space does almost the same thing. Space is not afraid to walk up, go between the Rhine and his shield, and right-click punch repeatedly until he dies. Right? He does that a bunch. And I like the aggression. So playing with Space was obviously, I think it's... honestly, since I haven't played with all the off-tanks, I'd say just in terms of mentality and what I need, I think Space is the best fit.
Okay. And I guess you guys played with Space at the end of Arc... No, you didn't, right? You did. No, you did play with Space.
Yeah, we did.
In Arc
we
6.
did, yeah.
Yeah. But he wasn't with Denial, right? I'm pretty sure he was.
Nope.
So I wanted to move on to the next section, which is to talk about some smaller orgs. I don't know how much we can delve into this because it is kind of a hot topic currently, at least within some Reddits, because of their issues playing players in the past. And I don't know if you guys can talk about that, but is there anything specifically? I don't know if the situation's washed over, but with denial, is there anything that sticks out to you that is kind of like a smaller org problem that other teams may have?
You mean like the hardcore scam, or the mismanagement of the players, or the disrespect, or all the garbage, or?
I mean, you can go in any of that. Just try not to rant for too long.
I mean, I'm not gonna rant for. It's
just a shit show.
Yeah, it's the. There's nothing good about any of it, to be honest. I don't like saying stuff like that. It makes me look bad to other orgs that I don't treat my sponsors well or whatever. I don't want to make it seem like that at all. But
yeah, of course.
It was an absolute nightmare. If it wasn't like the actual, not the S word, but the scam. It was a scam at some point. You could say, but I lost my idea.
No, I mean,
no, yeah, it was like the false promises and the baits, and it just felt like we were not only hindered financially, we were also hindered in a lot of other ways.
In your future, in your long term.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into details, but let's say something happened where I specifically asked them if I was gonna get a headset, because mine was broken. I could only hear from one, and the other one was screeching. And I asked, is there a chance I'm gonna get another one from the sponsor? They said yes, and then they asked me which one I wanted. I said this one, and then for like 2 months it dragged on. And I said, yo, I still have the same one. Do I have to buy one, or what? They said, no, we got you. Send it again. What do you want? I sent it again, and they waited like a month. I'm like, okay, yo, that's it. I'm done. Like that actually hinders you at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see the chat. Some say, poor lol. Yeah, I was broke back then. So what? I wanted to compete, and they said that they would give us the resources, and they didn't. That's the bait. Yeah. I think there's much more to everything. Like, it was so bad.
Yeah, most people are and were at the time anyways, so it's like any sponsorship you can get was kind of worth getting, even if it was like at the time seemed like a bad idea. But I mean, obviously, in order to continually perform, you need this kind of support, and a lot of teams don't get that. I mean, I know that Bird Noises eventually signed with Hammers, Hollywood Hammers, I guess they're called now, but I can't imagine that. I mean, with any small org, you're gonna have these issues, but obviously some differs more than others, unfortunately. But let's move on to bigger orgs and bigger sections. We'll talk about Overwatch League, and a few of our members here on the podcast today, as announced earlier. I didn't actually say that Danteh was earlier, but we have both San Francisco Super and Danteh, formerly I guess NRG, because they have to rebrand to a different name, which is not known yet. But guys, I want to talk about NRG. Are you guys planning on expanding your guys' roster currently? It's you, Super, Danteh, Baby Bay. Who's your entire roster? Could someone let me know? I already forgot.
So it's me, Danteh, Sleepy, Dak, Nomi, Sinatraa, Baby Bay.
Forgot your own team. Forgot your own team. Oh no.
IDDQD.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we're looking to flick up one more player, but we haven't decided on a 9th.
Hydration.
Whoa.
Why was that too soon?
Too soon.
Nah, I'm joking. I haven't heard anything. Obviously, you go ahead and continue.
But yeah, we the roster's not finished. We have plans to pick up at least one more person, so you'll see soon enough who that is.
Okay. And I want to talk about your guys' roles in San Francisco's Overwatch League team. I want to talk about Super and Danteh. Super, your role, some people were kind of questioning because you're a tank, right? But I've heard from multiple sources that you're also a pretty insane DPS player. So, like, I just want to hear your take on what your role in NRG is, or San Francisco is.
Well, the plan is right now to have me play off-tank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, we'll see what happens when the time comes when I'm eligible to play. When me and Sinatraa are both eligible, we'll see what the team needs. But the plan for me right now is to play off-tank, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Okay. xQc, do you think that Super should stick to main tank, or like when you played against Super, do you think that he was one of the tougher Ryan battles or tougher Winston to deal with?
Yeah, he's a toughie. I'd like to think he was tough to beat. I think at some point he kind of lost his confidence for some reason. I don't know why. He wouldn't play as commandingly as he did. I think it was very obvious. I don't know why. But otherwise, I think he's a very good tank. His flex and his other things are very good, and if not, the potential, there's a lot of potential in Super. I think, I'd like to think so. And when I tried out for a team, he played against Hog against me, and he would just kill me. So stop, please.
Yeah, I mean, we used him in this, was it the 4th week or 5th week of Contenders?
Yeah, against FaZe, yeah.
Yeah, and that was like the only map towards the end of the season that we got. That's what feels good, man. Super Hog, pretty OP. But let's move on to Danteh. Danteh, I want to know what your specific role in San Francisco is. Have you guys decided that?
Yeah, well, I'm mostly gonna play DPS, but I mean, I can flex off tanks pretty well. Like, I used to play D.Va for my old team. Remember xQc? That's pretty pog champ. But yeah,
I mean, D.Va's very good. Yeah, I think I saw a lot of people discrediting your D.Va or something. That's just stupid. I think his D.Va's very good.
Yeah, I played with you ringing D.Va once. It was pretty decent.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But yeah, I'm probably gonna play a lot of Tracer for sure until Sinatra's there. But you can see me, or I'll probably play a lot of Sombra, Tracer, Genji. Those are probably gonna be the heroes I play the most. Maybe Zarya too.
So do you have any tricks on Sombra that you like? I'm wondering, like you I know you're a very avid user of Sombra, in particular in scrims, and I think that you play it probably more than at least your team plays it more than any other team. Is there any particular reason that you can discuss, or is that supposed to be?
I just think it's really good. Like, it's just a really good hero, and I think NA kind of sleeps on it because like it's just so effective. Like, one hack can change a game. Like, you hack a Lucio that has beat, or you EMP the beat, you hack a D.Va, like it just changes the game completely. Same with like, I don't know, just her ult in general. I think it's better than Genji's ult.
If you get a hack, it's pretty much a free kill.
Yeah.
Or it can be if you follow up.
Yeah, no, dash or deflect is pretty screwed unless he has some like high ground cover to move to or something.
Yeah, Genji sword just gets canceled out by support ults, but Sombra can cancel out support ults. It's like, I just think it's a better ult and a better hero in general.
Okay.
But it could be map dependent. I don't know. We haven't like found out what maps we're gonna play it on or anything yet, really.
Yeah, there's still a lot of experimenting to do with Sombra, and I think, I mean, as long as you guys have that mindset to like figure it out, then I'm sure that you could be successful within at least the NA region. I don't know about the Korean regions, which we'll move on to next. Talking about Seoul, since they're the other team officially, or the other Korean team, I don't think there's any official besides, I guess, Kongdu C9 and LW Blue's not even official yet. But Team Seoul, I want to talk about them. I know that they're feared, at least in the general public, but do you guys, at least the people going to Overwatch League, do you guys think that they're an intimidating team to deal with, or is there none of that factor? Super xQc, Danteh?
I mean, I'm gonna go first. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
You're good.
I mean, I'm super biased, obviously, but I think we scrimmed the most it could be weird to say, but when we were at World Cup, we scrimmed them the most. Like, every day we would scrim them, and you could just feel and see. You could just feel the difference on how good the Koreans are, and if Seoul, so I don't know how to say it, but if it's like that, then they're very scary, and I think that they're gonna surprise people in Watch League. It's gonna be tough to break them, if ever.
So you think Team USA World Cup's down? Dunzo?
Come on, bro. That's just not happening.
You were saying something, Super?
I mean, you'd be stupid if you think that like they're not in contention for top 3, top 2. They're obviously, they've proven themselves for the past 10 months at this point to be the best. You don't really. They're the team to beat, basically, at the moment. There's no one that can really contest them at the top, at least, or like, at a competitive level. They're their own, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gonna probably pop off, but who knows? Maybe like a few months in Overwatch League, the NA scene will like step it up, because it always seems like the Korea scene is just like ahead of the game. Like, it always just seems like they're ahead of it. So yeah, if everyone like steps up with scrimming them, like maybe everyone will progress.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think just having like 1 or 2 Koreans on your roster, I think it could help a lot if they were outgoing enough to translate everything they know about the game and everything that they see other people do wrong. They could fix everyone, literally, and bring them not to the level of Koreans, but close to it at the very least, or try to emulate that. I think it'll help because they're far above everyone. Obviously, it's actually insane.
So then, do you think Immortals has like an advantage coming into Overwatch League then, or?
Somewhat, but like I said, it depends on a few things, I guess. How well they translate that or whatever. I don't even know if that's a thing, but yeah, obviously it would help.
I don't know how much I agree with I mean Koreans are obviously
ahead.
really good,
Go
but
ahead.
I think based on what people tell me from Overwatch League tryouts and having mixed rosters, it doesn't seem like or at least on a communications level, it's too hard to make it work. Like
Absolutely.
people can't thoroughly express what they want to say to Koreans, or they can't say it back to us because there's just that communication barrier. And I think some players can speak English very well. Like Envy, I know he speaks great English, but others, I don't see how you can make it work unless you have a team of all Koreans or all, North American, European, stuff like that.
I 100% agree. What I was trying to get at is when we played, it was obviously 6 Koreans. It was all Korean roster, right? That's what I was trying to get at. Like when they're in their environment, like they just pop off, right? And if the Koreans can like try to emulate that or translate that a little bit, I think could help. I'm not saying like they're just gods. If you've got 2 Koreans on the roster, boom, everything's fixed. No, obviously not. On top of their language being more efficient, they have to learn English, learn it well enough to translate their information fast and well, and for everyone to understand. Yeah, that was gonna take a long time, if ever. I agree with that.
Okay. Was there any other Overwatch League teams that we want to talk about or bring up, or any in mind?
I mean, the Shanghai Dragons or whatever. That I think the logo is insane. I think the whole brand is. Dude, seriously, when I saw that, I was like, "Yo, give me a call. I'm signing right now." Shanghai Dragons. I'm taking a flight right now. It looks good. I think it's a brink of hope for the game.
Would you play in China though for
Hells yeah.
for a year in China away from the land of Canada?
I'd play whatever. I'd play in a box.
Okay. A box on the like coast of Madagascar or something?
Yes.
The Madagascar what's that movie? What's the penguin movie? You know what I'm talking about, the animation?
I don't watch good stuff.
Happy Feet?
No, not Happy Feet. The one with Madagascar. I'm pretty sure it's just called.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a Disney movie, I think.
Is it like Penguins of Madagascar?
Yeah, Penguins of Madagascar, I think. Okay, well, that was kind of an off-topic area. Doesn't matter. Madagascar's on Overwatch League. I'm sorry if we led you on to believe that. But
big investment.
All right, I want to move on to the next section. I want to move about ranked. Now, I know right now a lot of people have been complaining, especially, at least I noticed today, a lot of people were extremely tilted in ranked today. Do we think that ranked is as bad as everyone says it is?
It's worse.
It's worse?
Terrible.
No comment?
No comment. We already know what xQc thinks you're ranked.
I feel like it's impossible to practice anything because like it's all just like troll comps, like Arista Hog. Like realistically, these won't work in a team environment, but like they work in comp just because you don't have skilled players playing. Right. Yeah, no coordination. Like all these comps will just get rolled in a team scene, but they just don't because no one knows how to play the game in ranked.
I don't want to take over like the whole conversation and talk too much. I mean, I think I have like an idea of why it's so bad. I mean, for me anyway. And it seems weird, but if let's say I pick Ryan and I go into comp, and in the other seasons I knew there would be like an enemy Ryan or some other things, right? And I know how to deal with that. And what I want as a player is how to deal with that better, right? And then the enemy Ryan would block my shatter. You know, I'd charge him, he'd charge me, and you get better at dealing with these things. And he shattered me. What happened? It was my shield too low. Should I recharge this thing? And you just get better, right? You have good practice. It's a good ground to play and grind and understand and evolve as a player. But right now, you queue ranked, and there's so many things that are outside your control that make you lose that there's no value to it. Did I lose? Why? Did I lose because I was mispositioned, or because I had a trash comp, or did my shield break too fast because I was mispositioned, or it's because they have like a Bastion Junkrat, Orisa, Symmetra garbage, Torb. Like,
It's a good time.
It's like impossible.
I don't know how you play that much ranked every day xQc. I'd
There's
say
no
some
practice
things
to it,
that
though. I mean, I always say that it's good to stay fresh and practice, right? And remain at the level you're at and practice, but there's no more practice to it. There's no value to it right now.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
You don't gain anything from versing like Orisa, Junkrat, Mercy, Symmetra. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Have an
just-
offensive Symmetra.
It's pure spam. Like most of this like season, it's just spam.
It's actually like
Junkrat.
RNG.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not
It's
fun
like-
to play against, and it's
Yeah.
not fun to play with.
So it's kind
yeah.
of, I don't know if this is like a valid topic, but do you think it makes your job, at least when you're streaming, does that make it harder for you to like want to keep going or like have that passion for streaming? Or is it just like, is it its own thing, or does Overwatch Ranked have like that big of an impact on even your streaming career? Any of you?
Sometimes like I remember a few months ago, like I'd be able to grind streams. Like I'd stream like 7 hours and I'd be like, damn, where'd those 7 hours go? But now like 3 hours into the stream, I'm just like, okay, I can't play this game.
Yeah.
And,
It's definitely, it makes it more annoying. It makes it seem like more of a chore to do than anything, because it's just not fun when you get 5 games in a row with a Symmetra on your team who doesn't say anything in voice, and they're not even in voice chat, and well,
Yeah.
you're basically playing 5v6 at that point. It's not enjoyable.
Well, yeah, I think there's even more issues to that. I think there's like another level of depth to that whole problem. The game is, even though I still like when people say the game is bad, it's not that the game is actually bad. The game is obviously very polished and very enjoyable. The experience is super good. It's just like the ranked is just so bad that I'm still motivated to wake up and, dude, I want to play ranked. I still want to play ranked every day. I want to queue up. That's what I like. I like the competition.
I agree too.
I still like that seed, right? Except it's just hard to really, I don't know, be excited to really enjoy the game fully. And when the streamer or the person or the people don't enjoy the game, it's hard to make the viewers enjoy what they're watching. And if people stream it less and switch to other games, and it all goes down, because then Overwatch loses viewership, and that's bad for the game. It's terrible. A game stays fresh by it's important for it to be on top of Overwatch top viewed games. And if Overwatch can't get there, then Overwatch League, yeah, it's going to be good, but it's still far. And if the problems don't get fixed and people stop streaming the game, if most big streamers just say, you know, no, today, fuck it, I'm going to play something else, then the game won't survive to make it there.
Yeah, and definitely right now, at least, it's definitely in a spot where a lot of the viewership does come from streaming, and that's like their pretty much market is the streams, you know?
Yes,
but,
yes.
I wanted
we
to
lost
also...
AMM.
You lost to AMM? Fortnite?
No, I'm just saying we lost AMM.
Oh.
They kind of shut down all the small tournaments to really.
Oh yeah.
They wanted to make Contenders the big thing, while Overwatch League, you know, like the transitioning thing. I agree that was good, but AMM was so important. I think a lot of people that watched AMM don't watch Contenders. It was the thing. It was like, I don't know, like a school fight or whatever. Everyone attends, and it's like, you know, at the end of the month, who are the strong players and who are the strong teams? I want to see my favorite team. How they're going to match up against this guy, against that player. Is this guy still good? And everything, you know, it's like at the recess, like the corner. It's like a fight. People want to be there, and we lost that. And I think that was a bad move. But
do you think Overwatch League can bring that back?
We'll see. I think. The problem is that we lost a lot of like grassroots people kind of lost interest into the competitive scene. Before that, even with no advertisement, I mean, some big tournaments we get like 40, 50, 60, 70K without even trying. And now they're mass advertising and they're not getting the viewership. So we'll see. We'll see. It all depends. The ball's in Blizzard's court. Go ahead.
I don't know if the Overwatch League can bring back the same enjoyment that like the OMM did, because you would have teams like that no one's ever heard of, like Spicy Boys, Hammers, us at the time. You know, you guys, Arc 6, Denial. and then you just go in and you make a splash, you make a name for yourself, you get 10,000 new fans. It's and you can't do that with the Overwatch League because obviously, unless you have $20 million or you've already proven yourself to be one of the best, you don't get that same feeling of you don't really get a chance to prove yourself. Well, I mean, you do through the Open and then through Contenders, but it's not the I don't know. I don't think there's going to be an underdog story. There's no more underdog stories, basically.
Exactly. Storylines are shut down with that.
Yep.
People want to get excited about rooting for an underdog. Oh, who's this guy? Nobody's seen him. Oh, they win their first game. Jesus, I want to watch them. They watch next game. I like these players, and fans like heroes get made overnight, and that's like super fun.
I suppose it's like more gonna be on like individual underdogs, similar to how like rookies and like real sports and traditional sports, and I guess how LCS does it, where they come in and they're expected to fill this role, and like it's all on them. There's definitely not really gonna be any underdog teams. It's definitely just going to be on the individual basis, I think, from now on. Obviously, unless a team is like super down within the season or something like that. But nevertheless, since we were talking about ranked initially, I do want to talk about top 10. Being in that top 10, is that hard to keep? Is that like, I mean, obviously it's a very competitive spot, but I mean, can you even maintain a top 10 rank in soloQ? Like, I mean, Danteh, I don't know if you were top 10 soloQ or anybody here was.
Yeah.
You were, right?
Basically,
Danteh?
yeah, like the whole season until the new Mercy patch, that's when I lost it. Like, I don't know. It's just way harder to, like, do things. Mercy's just, like, so OP. Like, she can carry games, and it's not hard to play her.
Yeah.
There's a lot more spam comps, too, recently. Like, there's way more troll games. Hard to carry those.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure a Sinatraa main is in top 10 right now.
Yeah.
Not boys, not podcast.
Right.
Oh, no.
Did he make it to top 10?
Yeah, he's
I don't know. He was like top 18 or something.
I think he's number 11 or 10.
What a god.
Yeah, what were you saying, Felix?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's he's a god. He's adapting. He's like it's evolution. He's adapting to the meta. The guy knows what to do, man.
He's the next
He
Steve
held
O.
that beam. Yeah.
Or even better. So I guess that kind of moves into the next topic. Does anybody have an opinion on EloGuardians? I mean, that's kind of like a weird topic because you guys play with Sinatraa, but like any specific opinion on that tag? I mean, this is kind of a weird thing to bring up, but the EloGuardians, is it like unfair? Does it give them an advantage? Is it their fault? Is it Blizzard's fault?
I mean, of course, but I'm gonna answer first. Sorry, I keep doing it. Then
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, I'll talk next. Don't worry.
Okay. I think I was always against stacking, but at this point, if you don't stack, you don't enjoy the game. Before you could always enjoy soloQ, but now sometimes you just can't. And at the time they play like super late at night because of like their schedule, and that at that point of the night the games are trash. So I don't blame them anymore. To be honest, I don't think they want to hurt anyone, and they're just trying to play the game and enjoy themselves. I respect it to a certain extent.
Well, alright. I don't really see why it's a problem because, like, last season, Fate, Envy, and Kareev, they had, like, every night they just 3-stack, but, like, no one cared because they're Korean. Like, I don't know. The community, like, praises Koreans, like, but then, like, if, like, Sinatraa does something, like, E3Qs, like, I don't know, everyone just freaks out. It's, like, I don't know, it's just kind of bias.
I think part of the issue, or something weird that I've always thought was, like, I don't know why Blizzard did this, but the higher you stack, so like 3-stack, 4-stack, the worse your two teammates get. Like you'll get like 3,500 players as like your two remaining, and I don't understand the logic behind that. Other than I guess they don't want to make you wait, but they said that they were okay with making us wait, but that never happened. Like, I don't know if that was like a straight up lie because I have never had a queue longer than 4 minutes this whole season, so I don't.
Yeah, it's usually 5 minutes, like 6 minutes max, even.
Yeah, I've never had a queue longer than 4 minutes this whole season. Damn. So I feel like they just straight up lied. I've never waited a long queue.
That's a joke. Seriously, I think, in my opinion, I think the algorithm, like at some point, it just like the criteria is for finding a match go out the window. Like, oh, we're looking for 4.2, 4.2, 4.1, 4. 2.7, 2.5, 2K. You know, you just get like some diamonds on your team now. It's actually stupid.
I had like 3 diamonds last night. That shit's nuts, man.
Yeah, I remember a game last season. Someone decayed down to diamond, and they literally queued with one of their friends that's an actual plat. because like you can do that. Like he was an actual
That's the
flat player,
strat.
and he queued with him.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know how that's still in the game, but for some reason it is.
Is there anything we could do as players to fix it, or is it just
I mean, what is there to do?
I don't think so.
I really don't know.
constructive feedback and masses?
That's been done many times, but it falls on deaf ears. It seems like so. I mean, we could keep trying, but I don't know what good that does at this point.
I mean, you go for it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say anything.
It's just I feel like every pro player has voiced their honest opinion, but it doesn't matter. It seems like it really does not matter. So that's all there is to say.
Okay.
Unless Blizzard chooses to change what monster they've created, it's not gonna get better.
I think there's more. I think at some point we've brought out so much because there's a channel on Discord for feedback for pros and whatnot, and I think people have used it in the past. I've said my input in there, I think, and they've just chose not to, and every decision they make, and every time they put a PTR, and we're like, dude, this is broken, and it still goes to live. At that point, I feel like I don't want to say something that I respect them, but I feel that there's something that we don't know. Like there's a piece that we're missing. Is it like marketing, or is it like targeted decisions to create some things? No, I don't know, but there's got to be something, man. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like
I've seen a lot of people in the pro feedback. They have, a lot of people have the same suggestions, and a lot of people agree. Like every time it's brought up, people are like, yeah, this is good, but I don't see anything. Just seems like Blizzard isn't listening or caring. One of the two.
Okay. And I mean, we pretty much covered that, what Blizzard can do. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they probably need to do from our opinions. But like, I think xQc said it pretty good, that it's like there's a lot of topics that we don't know about. However, there's more things that are disrupting pro play in the rank system that is more severe than any of these markets that we could potentially think of, right? For the most part, I'm pretty sure. But let's move on to some topics and questions from Reddit. Move on to a brighter topic, probably. Maybe not that bright. But can we talk about the trial process for some of these L teams? I know it specifically, I don't think we can talk about many more. The real quick, I wanted to inform you guys, this is now our Reddit thread section. So last time on Reddit, we asked you guys for some questions and topics and stuff, and we took 5 questions / topics. We were looking more towards topics because they're more open-ended and easier to talk about, and it's just more fun to talk about topics instead of specific questions. But these were a few questions that I pulled out. This first one's from Laex, and that I brought up. What's the tryout process for some of these L teams? I don't know. Can we go with the San Francisco guys first? What was the tryout process for you? Were you allowed to go delve into that, or?
Yeah, you can go then.
Do you want me to go over it?
Yeah.
All right, so when I first started trying out, it was like the first week of August, I think. It was right when the signing period opened. And there was like maybe like 30 tryouts. They were just like rotating people in and out, doing in-house scrims. And I'm pretty sure that's how almost every team is doing it at the moment. So yeah, they just kept on doing that for a few, probably like a week maybe. And we would fill out feedback forms afterwards, like of what you thought of everyone. And yeah, eventually they just narrowed it down to who they liked on the team.
a feedback form. I didn't get that.
Really?
Where was my feedback form, dog?
Dude, I'm pretty sure you checked.
Leaks.
Pretty sure it was in the Discord.
No,
Or maybe. Wait, I think you
I was
started
on the
trying
second
out.
Discord.
Yeah, you were doing the other tryouts, probably.
Yeah, they made a new Discord for the NRG, and they put me in it, and everyone, all the new tryouts. And I asked, why'd you guys make a new Discord? They said, because you're on it. They didn't want me to leave the whole thing. But I knew it was on the first one already. I don't know. It was so weird, but it's okay.
I mean, sorry, xQc, but you've gone through multiple different areas on I'm pretty sure Super and Danteh have just done San Francisco's. I don't know. You don't have to delve into that if you don't want to. But how does the other tryouts differed? I guess can you talk about that at all, or is that too specific? xQc.
Oh, me? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I don't mind. I mean, obviously, if I say a certain tryout, then they'll know it's them, but the people won't know, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a leak. It's like a hidden leak, right? So I think there are some teams that have full rosters and they'll put you in literally alone. They'll replace the player that's in your slot and you'll put you in. And I think these are the most enjoyable because they have their whole infrastructure and you try to fit in. I think they're fun because it's already like obviously a successful team. Or they'll put like 2 at the same time, which is also pretty good. I think the most chaotic ones are the ones where they do like in-house stuff, like Danteh said.
Yeah,
Dude,
I agree.
these are an absolute joke.
It's hard
hard to
to
tell,
learn from.
Because like one bad player on your team can make you underperform. So like say you're playing like especially a role like main tank, like you don't have a good diva.
The thing is, I mean, I know it's not that easy, but I guess the main focal point I guess this is some sort of advice, but the main focal point that some of these players need to focus on is only themselves. Even if they didn't play well because of a certain player, because that role couldn't enable you, I guess, there is always some way that you can make yourself look better, even in a losing situation, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. That's what I always go for when I see this happening.
Yeah.
I guess I'm good at that. But just one more thing before I switch to super. I think that in all fairness, I think on top of that, there's another depth of problem to that. Where, let's say they put player X with you, and they think he's a god, and they think on anything they have a downgrade instead of X, they have Y, which is better, which is worse than X. Whatever. So on your team, you have this guy that they think is really good, so he should carry you. And if you're losing with a good player, then dude, you're garbage. Like, you should be able to win. So you know what I'm getting at?
So you're saying there's like bias?
Yeah, I think it depends.
I think trials like those have a lot of bias too.
But it's trash. And since you're on it, you're like, this guy, why isn't he winning? I mean, obviously he's so bad he's carrying them down. Well, that's why I think in-houses are bad because they don't have like a digit or a true value to someone.
So you're saying like if someone has a fixed opinion already, then it's hard for it's not a fair trial is what you're getting at basically.
Yeah, it's like impossible.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. So it's really hard to do trials like those. So
basically what I always thought was the best way to do it is that analyze your subjects in same environments. If you see things in certain players, give them both the same different set teams and see the results of that, and then switch one player out and see how they do now. And you can analyze some stuff like that because this game is so complex. Sometimes I'll do poorly just because my Zarya isn't shielding me at the right time, and it's a huge deal, and it'll carry the whole team down. And if you analyze the always the same environment and you switch people in, then you can truly analyze your new player.
All right. Well, I guess we have that situation settled for Overwatch League trial processes. Thank you, Lex, for your question. Next question we have is, can we get an update on what's going on individually from everyone? This is kind of like a summed up question, but are we allowed to like delve into that? I want to go to xQc first. What's going on with you individually? I know you're streaming right now and you are doing tryouts and whatever in the past. Are you allowed to talk about your future?
I mean, I guess a little bit. I've talked a bit on stream.
Leaks. Oh man.
I mean, no, it's no leak. Honestly, I mean, I think I have pretty much almost a sure shot of being in without like trying to look hot or look brag. Yeah, I think it's very looking good. What I tried to feel or try to get is something that isn't you're in because of your stream. I think that's like, no, stop. Stop. I don't want to be in because of my stream. I want to be in because I play properly. So I always try to not bring up my stream at any point or the brand or the possibilities of whatever. I want to be in because I play well, not because I have a stream. I don't give a fuck about That's bad. It's like cowardice. It's like
it's a good mindset.
It's like a giveaway. I don't want that. Just fuck off with your charity. Go to the Red Cross or something, man.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, Danteh Super. Danteh first, I guess. What's with San Francisco? Do you guys got any plans for Overwatch League Season 1?
Well, we're just planning on picking up one more person, as we said before, but obviously we can't say who. But yeah, we're basically set on like announcements, I guess. We have to like do the team name and stuff like that, but I don't know. Not much from us coming out. Just the team.
Any goals or anything for season 1 of Overwatch League personally, like individually? Want to be the best Tracer, the best Diva. Want to beat the Koreans.
I want to pop off.
Want to pop off?
Yeah.
Get those Pog champs.
Yeah. You play for the
We
Poggers.
all wait for the Pog champs in the chat.
Play for the Poggers. Yeah.
Every good player, when he does a good play, first thing after the game, they just play the VOD and they look at the chat.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it for the Pog champs. The San Francisco Pog champs.
That'd be a sick name, dude.
Oh, that's a leak.
Do
It's
it.
a leak.
Oh crap. Oh crap.
I actually leaked.
Danteh, are you
the
moving
leak.
out soon, or when are you going?
Oh, I move in 3 days.
When does
Yeah.
Super
Where?
move? When do you move?
I'll be a little longer than that. I'll probably be like a month, a little more than a month.
They're moving to Vegas for any.
Uh,
Yeah, you're going when we get the LA house, right?
Candle.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think.
School
Yeah,
and
I think
stuff,
so.
right?
Yeah.
Candle in the chat.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the first season of Overwatch League will be played in LA, and then probably season-based or city-based arenas and stuff are gonna happen. We'll see what happens even there. It's like a whole year from now, so who knows what'll happen then. But I want to move on to the next question, which was how do you balance streaming and playing? Because at least personally, I know with teammates that I've had in the past and the people I've talked to have said that it's hard to be a good teammate and a full-time streamer at the same time, or at least a very active streamer. Is that true, or is
What do you mean by good teammate?
like
Someone who shows up the scrims.
like shows up tired, doesn't get the full rest that they need, I guess. At least from my experience, a lot of streamers do have to stay up late to stream because obviously scrims take up a majority of your time and it takes up a lot of energy. But especially if you're not getting that much sleep, is that true or?
I mean, I haven't. I mean, I don't stream as much as Danteh and xQc do, but Danteh streams. Obviously streams in the morning before scrims. I stream after scrims, but I don't think like if you're smart about it, you shouldn't have any issues realistically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes maybe occasionally you'll sleep in or you'll miss 15 minutes. It happens. It's happened to me before. But like at the end of the day, you should be smart about how you handle it.
I don't really have a problem with it. I just stream before scrims because I know if I like started streaming after scrims, I feel like I would just be like, I don't really feel like playing. Fuck that. Like I just scrimmed for 4 hours, but like it's like almost more of an option if I do it after. It's like, I don't really feel like it. I'll just chill tonight. But like if I do it before scrims, then like I don't know. It's just like a good way to start off the day, I guess. Just get a stream going.
I mean, because you can stream when you're tired a little bit. When you wake up, you can start to stream and just just chill out and wait till the energy comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't go into scrims tired. That's just garbage for everyone.
Yeah.
Your mood's kind of down, your play is down, your mechanics. Everyone's cold if you're cold and whatever. So you can't really do that. So you have to warm up and practice before scrims. That's what I'd do. So you have to wake up, warm up, practice, scrim, stream. Come on, man. It becomes a little harder. I think that this strat is better to stream before scrims.
Strat.
Mm-hmm.
The strat.
Otherwise, no, seriously. Otherwise, it's literally impossible. Like you have to be mentally extremely. People always joke around like, you just sit around playing games all day, dog. But you have to be pretty. I think you have to be pretty strong to scrim like a 4 to 6 hours and stream like a 8, and then sleep. Because after you stream, you're like you can't go to sleep because it's all like you're stimulated and whatever. But you need your sleep. And you have to like time everything. You have to time everything, and it's. I think it's a big commitment.
Mm-hmm. And that was
to do everything.
That was from user Desix, but it's interesting streaming and playing at the same time. And I don't know how many blocks you guys played on Arc 6, but that's probably a 4-hour block right a day that you guys played. So it's all a matter of timing, like you said, because then you need like that hour to actually get tired or actually like wind yourself down or whatever and go to bed. But yeah, let's move on to the next question. This was from a specific this is for a specific person, for Danteh, and this is from user RedditMan6. He says, "How did you increase in skill so quickly?" he could be a fake Reddit user. He could be Danteh asking himself his own question.
Shit.
Danteh.
What the? Well, I graduated in like May, and then I just played ranked like every day.
Mhm.
I started playing DPS for my team, and yeah, I just improved pretty quickly.
Okay. And
That's basically all it was,
Yeah, you-
just playing the game.
you explained it earlier pretty well, so.
Yeah.
And I guess the last Reddit question, and to close off the Twitch segment, what do we individually bring to the table in terms of comms? Everybody here, like, I'm wondering, because I played with Danteh once before. I've never played with xQc before. I'm wondering, what do you guys think that you individually bring to the table in terms of comms to your team? Is there anything you do, or do you just focus on your mechanics? Or it's kind of an in-depth question, but specifically, what do you guys bring to the table?
Well, even when I played tank and my new role now on San Francisco, I've kind of always been like a target caller. So obviously I say tracer low, or I'm on this, or I'm flanking this now. Stuff like that. It's just kind of what I've always done. What's funny, xQc? What's funny?
No, it's just, dude, I shouldn't do that, but I just glance at chat, just people saying.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been doing that the whole time. Yeah.
Danteh, do you bring anything in particular? Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I just like when I'm playing Sombra and stuff, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try to hack Diva right here to be ready to kill Diva, or I'll try to bait the tracer in and I'll hack her. I call cooldowns and stuff sometimes. Like if a Genji uses dash, it'll be like Genji no dash.
That's big actually.
But yeah.
I'm doing nothing. I'm switching. I'm Genji. I'm useless.
Yeah. Yeah, basically that, and I call when people are low sometimes. Like if they're really low and we need to get the kill, then yeah, call it.
Cooldowns are. I don't hear many people talk about that a lot. When I mean, people do it, but they don't like really mention it specifically. But cooldowns are like really game changing, especially like something like Onanade or Winston Bubble. That's if people aren't paying attention to that, that can like cost you a big opportunity. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. xQc, what do you do specifically for your team? I know you calm a lot, right? But I want to know what specifically.
I mean, I think I like to think I can adapt. I think talking too much is very good if your coach or whatever, builds it down and breaks it down and filters it into what you should say, and then you're better, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like super important. Sometimes there's tryouts and people said, "Do you talk too much, man?" And it's like bad. It's not even feedback. It's like I'm being punished for it, but it's okay because if you say too much, they can filter it, right? But if you don't say a lot, then what do? Do you teach a person how to talk more? It's harder,
Mm-hmm.
Talking too much is better than not talking enough, I think. And what I like to do a lot, which is I think it's kind of good. I do most of the things these guys say, and I'm a target caller, engage caller. What I'm on, what I'm going to do. I like to call strats, or I like to be creative on the fly sometimes. Let's do something really weird. Let's go like from bottom, do this and that. I think these work very often, but I think there's one thing I think I can do pretty well. I like to make calls that are more like personal, because I know a lot of people don't just tune things out. Like their head hears my voice. It's not like an alert. They just don't really hear it. If I don't scream, they're like, it passes through, right? So what I like to do is, hey, like I'm doing this for you, like here, like Anna, I'm shielding you, and he knows that, and now he's gonna play shield. He's gonna crush him behind my shield because he knows that I'm doing it for him. I'm not gonna twist it towards someone else, and he's gonna die. He can trust it, right? So then when you bring that level of it's personal at that point, then yeah, it's like I think it's pretty good. So I do that.
Yeah, no, it does make sense saying a lot of individual things, particularly like at least on support. When I'm talking to like a Genji or a Ryan or my tanks or whatever, I'll like say I'm playing with like Remix or something. I'll be like, oh, I'm healing you right now or whatever. Like Remix, I'm healing you or whatever. Like, oh, Genji, I have orb on you. Oh, this guy's Discord. And then like it's also a matter of vocabulary, because it's at least for a support player, you also need to be aware of when to just say something's marked or when to say that, like target calling pretty much on a support, because most of the time you don't. And it's just a matter of what the team's doing. But thanks for that question, Ruve. I appreciate it. But guys, we're winding it down actually already. This was a lot shorter than I thought I would. We blew through all these topics and questions, dudes.
It's because you don't have reinforced to keep
to keep it going,
pressuring.
Keep the spice going.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, we could take like chat. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't mind talking for longer. I'm not busy. You could talk for a little while about other things and things that you think on the fly and chat a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. we're gonna talk in the chat for a little bit, guys. But this is gonna be the end of our YouTube segment. Do we have any more? Do we have any shout outs in particular? Super, you can go first. Any shout outs?
Shout out to San Francisco. All the XLG boys, Avast, Train, Vol, Rob, Jake.
Candle.
Light a candle, boys.
Dante.
Shout out to DeFran. Yeah. You.
Yeah, McDonald's.
Long way
McDonald's.
with DeFran. I'm visiting Denmark. Gonna go get a Big Mac with them. It'll be a good time.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's commitment.
An Overwatch themed McDonald's. That'd be sick, dude. Have like the friend as like the manager or whatever.
McDonald's Al, dude. That'd be beastly. That'd be
And
beastly.
he'd like select. He'd get like his own roster, like who's working for him, like
Yeah.
a roster.
Would he make him wear like the McDonald's like uniform or something like that? Or
Yeah.
okay, would they all
Have
have like
jerseys and shit.
would like the supports wear like the cook role, like the cook like outfit or something like that, and then the cashiers
yeah.
would be DPS? That'd be dope, dude. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Seriously.
XCC, you got any shout outs, man?
To be really honest, I don't really understand what you mean by like the end of YouTube segment or whatever. So don't bother explaining. Shout outs to dude, absolutely nothing. Nothing to shout out.
Okay. You can follow all their Twitters. In the bottom of the box, you can see Super's, Dante's, XCC's, and my own. Because I didn't do it last time very well, I do want to explain this is the Ult Advantage podcast. I'll do a quick sell out for us. You can follow us on Twitter at Ult Advantage, and obviously follow us on YouTube. Oh, smokes. Super just lost his
Hello?
cam. Rip.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Shout out to my boy
Enza Danino.
Oh my
Okay.
god, dude.
That's gonna be it. I just had to, man.
That's your
It's just
It's all good. It's all good.
gotta keep it alive. Shout out to Joe Bot. Yeah.
It's all right. It's good to keep memes rolling while Super's fixing out his cam. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter. It's the end of the YouTube segment anyways. By that, I mean we're stopping the recording, but we're continuing streaming. That's what I wanted to explain. But yeah, follow us on Twitter at Ult Advantage. You can also follow my YouTube, Dogman on YouTube. That's where all the VODs are saved. I don't really upload much besides Ult Advantage. So specifically for that, you can follow us on YouTube. You can also follow our SoundCloud, which is Ultimate Advantage on SoundCloud. That's for a straight audio feed. We're trying to address the issue with the megabytes because obviously video should not be in podcast form. So we'll fix that eventually. And then obviously the most important one, you guys on Twitch, follow that or click the follow button to maintain updates with Ultimate Advantage. We're running bi-weekly, so the next podcast will be ran the 16th of October, so 10/16/17. And that is at 6 PST, 9 EST. You can follow us live. So thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube. We're also looking for a sponsor. I will say that much. Our podcast is looking for sponsorship. And that's it. See you, YouTube.